Great, there we go. Had a little trouble there with the live stream starting up, but we seem to be online now. Hello, Facebook land. How you doing? Hope you're doing all right. Is that Cassandra? Hello, Cassandra. Nice to see you. Excellent. So I hope that you guys can hear this all right. Well, let's get started. So welcome to our 30-day challenge for Unleash the Dragon, and welcome again. Thank you for being here. It's always such good fun to have you guys here and to be doing this. So today we're going to be doing our second day for the white leopard, for the snow leopard, and what we're going to do, we'll do some of the other bows, review them, have some fun with them, fill them in a little bit more, and then we'll do the white leopard bow again. We'll have our sandwich, we'll do the bow, do an alignment exercise, do the bow again, and then we'll finish off with some added details about the leopard. And in case you haven't noticed, what I try to do with the alignment exercises is to work our way up the body. So we started off first with the breath, which touches everything, and then we worked, from the feet, the knees, the hips. We did spinal alignment up the wall, and last class we did the arms, so a little bit with the shoulder girdle, and then today we're going to do a little bit with the shoulders and the neck. So that's the plan for today, and then with Cobra, our last animal, we'll be doing the head, swiveling on its atlas cervical vertebra. And so let's get started. So let's do a little bit of boa, and let's get into it. So feeling your body and letting tension drop. Again, take a before picture shot of your body, a kinesthetic snapshot of your body. Feel your feet, feel the bones landing into the ankle sockets of the feet. Feel the springy, intelligent arch of your feet, and feel the weight of your body land and press down onto your knees, onto your shin bones, into your feet. Feel your thighs, feel your pelvis, feel your spine rest on your pelvis, feel your rib cage hang off of your spine, feel your collarbones and your shoulder blade, and feel the arm, the bones of the upper arms, feel the bones of the forearms, feel the bones of the palms of your hands, your wrist, and your fingers. Feel the vertebra of your neck, feel your head, feel the skull plates, and just relax and release tension. Good. Let's do a couple of little basic breathing exercises just to warm our way into it, and just breathing in, and you fill up like a big rag doll, you fill up like a big balloon. As you inhale, you fill up and lengthen and open up, and as you exhale, you deflate and feel your body, feel the bones of your body stacking on top of each other, settling down into the earth. And breathing in, fill up with breath, and exhaling, relaxing, letting the weight of your body settle down into your feet. Good. And let's get into the boa. So bringing your feet together, and feel your awareness all around you. Take a moment, touch base with your sense of empathy, touch base with your sense of the unconscious, and we're going to talk a little bit more about how to do that when we get into the next phase. But for right now, have a sense of those moments in your life when you've been really quiet and still, and you're touching the core of that stillness, and feel like you're breathing from the core of that stillness. And filling up, exhale, drop down, caress the inside of the barrel, As you breathe in, toes point towards each other and fill up with breath. As you fill up with breath, your spine lengthens, your knees straighten, brush the cobwebs away from your eyes, and hold the world, stop the world. So this is the point in the Boa bow where if you have any thoughts, you still them completely, even for just a moment, and then you bring the breath in and exhale, drop, relax. Between bows, you come up and then dip down again, immersing yourself into the unconscious, into your sense of empathy, feeling like your sense of empathy can fill the entire room. It's extending and touching the walls of whatever space that you're in. Stop the world. Bring the breath in and exhale. Your breath pouring like a waterfall into the palms of your hands. Resurface, then surrender. One last time. Inside of the barrel, curling up the vertebra one at a time. Open the doors of perception. Stop the world. Bring in the energy. Let go what you don't need. And then curl up and feel your body. If you're feeling softer and more puffy like a Marshmallow Man or the Michelin Man or woman, if you feel like your palms are slightly more red and puffed up, you've been doing it right. That's what always happens to me whenever I do the boa. My hands get large and red. Okay, so that's the boa. And with boa, I hope that you had a sense of like not focusing too hard on anything. You had a soft, gauzy focus. Now we're going to shift into the panther. And now you're focusing on the spaces between things. You're focusing on the boundary shadow of things. The same way that the panther represents the subconscious, which is on the boundary just below the surface of the conscious mind. So now we find our panther. Feel your tendons and ligaments. Feel the gooey, chewy viscosity of the sinews. They are the sense of your recoil and springiness, and they are also the source of your enjoyment of movement, the sensation of sensual movement. So panther, look at the world from underneath the brows of the eyes, and sending your roots down into the earth. Draw energy up the root system, into the tendons and ligaments, up your body, the groin, up to the spine, up to the back of the head, and drop down. Exhale from the tendons and ligaments. Breathing in. Touch base with your inner caveman, cave woman. Feel that instinct in you. Where's the wild side? Say hello to it. And triangles. And flip. And stand. Feel your panther. Feel like you've just supercharged all of your tendons and ligaments. You're kind of ready and loaded like a natural spring, ready to bounce. And you have that sort of sense of exhilaration, like you've just had this emergency that you've just responded to effectively, like you took care of business without having to think about it. You just let your reactions and your instincts run, and you're just touching base with that part of yourself. Say hello to your panther. Good. And then shifting gears into tiger. So tiger, you find your square musculature, you find the muscles of your body, feel the armor of the tiger, and feel that part of yourself that kicks into gear when you've got a goal in front of you and you're just going to reach your goal no matter what the obstacles are. Nobody's going to mess with you. All right, so feel your tiger, feel the belly, the power of the belly, the power of the physical center and the physical body. Feel the courage of your burning heart and feel the linear focus of your analytical mind, just cutting through any obstacles. And again, reach down into the earth, draw up the energy from the tectonic plates as they press and shear against each other, and you're taking that friction, you're taking that tension between opposites, and you're bringing it into yourself, using that power for your own tiger. And the bow, inhale 1, fill up your whole body, inhale a second time, supercharge your body, and then exhale, squeeze the accordion. One more time. And triangle up the belly. Fill up your physical center with energy. And flip the triangle. Bring that physical energy up to the heart and let it blossom and open the flower of your heart. And standing. Feel the tiger. Feel the mantle of the tiger. So right now I just feel like I'm like a flame and I'm just burning away the dross all the way around me. I feel like there's empty space in front of me that I'm just pushing away. Good. Okay. And let's do Python to review it. And feeling your skeletal structure. Feel your breath. And when you inhale, you're inhaling directly into the marrow of your bones. It's like a hydraulic system. It just lifts you up, like when you go to a garage and you see those hydraulics lift cars up and down. Same thing. You're breathing into the marrow of your bones. You're breathing into the space in your joints. And as you fill them up with breath, it expands you. And as you exhale, you not collapse, bleh, you telescope down. And you become heavier, and you're letting your bones settle down on each other, into the feet, onto the earth. So you fill up the marrow of the bones, you fill up the space between the joints on the inhale, and on the exhale, settle down on yourself. There you go. And let's take that, let's do it one more time. Breathing in, filling up, like hydraulics and pneumatics. And then exhaling, settling down on yourself. Good. All right, let's do the bow together. And dropping down. Fill up with breath. Let the breath curl your spine up. Raise your arms up for you. Pack energy into the bones as you bang the heels into the ground. And then the hands come down. They rock forward. They rock back, you bring them back to your body and into the holsters. There you go. And coming up, kind of like boa, you do a reset between the bows. So you come up, you resurface, and then you plunge back down. At the bottom, I'm in my unconscious, and as I curl up, I come up through the layers of the mind, through the unconscious and subconscious, the conscious mind, and reach the top and pack energy into the bones and release the energy and return to home base, return to the unconscious. One last time and dropping, breathing in deep then standing, feeling what your body feels like. And right now I just sort of feel like all the tension from Tiger, these plates of armor have fallen off, and I'm just feeling the skeleton of my body transferring energy down through the bones, down into the ground, but I'm loose at the joints. I'm mobile, and I'm ready to go in any one direction. So that's Python. All right, so let's get into leopard. Let's do the leopard bow, and so we'll review it, and we'll talk a little bit more about leopard, and then do an alignment exercise, and then go back to leopard. So take a moment, feel what you feel like, and hopefully you had a sense, a sort of change in the sense of your body when you went from one bow to the other. That's where the magic is. Just noticing the difference in the feeling of your own body when you change from one animal to the other. And it'll be subtle, and that subtlety will be driven, sure, by the motion of the body, but also by your visualization, and that's where the heart of the art lies. So spend time and let yourself sink and steep into those visualizations. So with leopard, feel your body, and leopard is, we talked last class about what leopard represents, and it represents intuition. So it's these moments when you get a sort of cosmic big picture of what's going on. Things that are like leopard, it's the way that I think about leopard, or I tap into it, I imagine what it would be like to be an alien, to come down to the planet and to see people doing their things and then try to report back. It's like that kind of big scope of a picture. And that sense of being removed, like I'm not in it, I can see the forest from the trees. And the perspective that leopard has of being behind and above itself. So you just have this like cool-headed, detached attitude to everything. It's all math, baby. If you can't describe it in calculus, it doesn't exist. Right? This is leopard. All right? And let's do the bow. So it's very light, it's very energetic oriented. And inhale, breathe into the throat, then into the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, exhale from the throat. That kind of felt a bit sudden. Let's try this again. So with leopard, you want to feel very expansive, and you want your arms to move freely and lightly. And what we're doing when we're inhaling is we're taking energy in and sending it up through the crown of the head out into the cosmos. And then what we're doing on the exhale is we're taking energy and information from the cosmos and then bringing it back down to share it out in how we communicate. My favorite example of this, my points of inspiration for leopard, I think of Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. This is exactly the kind of vision that leopard loves and lives for. And that quality of, like, I saw it in a dream, and it covered, all kinds of people and all kinds of time and all kinds of places, that kind of big scope picture. That's the kind of quality, the kind of information, and the kind of intuition and inspiration that leopard is drawing down. So when you're doing the bow, you're taking in, you're listening, yes, you're opening the throat channel and you're breathing in ideas that are nourishing to you. And then you inhale and you raise them up, and then you bring down the response of the cosmos, essentially, back down through you to then share it back out with the world. So that's the energetic and mantra prayer quality that the white leopard bow has. Okay? There, now I feel more complete. Okay, so with the bow, you're going to be taking in ideas and sights and concepts that feed you. You're breathing it in through the throat, sending it up into the cosmos. So, and then on the exhale, you're bringing the response of the cosmos back down through you and out through the throat. So in and out. And in, out. In, out. One more time. And then the triangles, you bring the triangle of the hands to the throat. And then turn the feet in, bring the triangles up to the crown, and exhale. And then stand, feel what you feel like. And take a moment for yourselves. I'm just going to check here in with the comments. Thank you, Paula. I'm glad you liked the description. Beautiful description. Thank you. Hello, Dorothy. Nice to see you. Danielle. Hello, Danielle. Hello, Maria. Whoa, I waved. I pushed a button. And hello, Elizabeth. Nice to see you. Esteban, welcome. Pamela, welcome. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Whoa, somehow I made the comments disappear. Oh, no, I hope that... There we go. Now they come back. Okay. Things you discover by accident when you're working with technology. Okay. Oh, look, I launched a nuclear missile. Okay. Okay. So I hope that you enjoyed that description. That description and the descriptions for each of the animals are at the heart of the spirit of the animal and the archetype. More importantly, those descriptions, they act like psychological keys to unlock the different doors to the rooms of your psyche. That's how I think of all of these animals and the movements and the archetypes, and that this is what this system is designed for. It's a system of internal alchemy. It's about being able to tap into different resources in yourself. It's artful. That artfulness makes it dynamic and playful. So I just really hope you enjoy that it has value for you. I know it does for me. So we've done our leopard bow. Let's do an alignment exercise. This is for the collarbones and a little bit for the neck. And I'm going to try something a little bit different. Rather than doing it on the ground, I'm going to do it sitting up. But you can feel free to lie down on your back. And what we're going to do is we're going to play with our hands on our head. So if you were on your back, what you would do is, let me just get over here, is you'd lie down on your back and you'd have one hand underneath, like you're lying down on one arm at the beach or something, and you place another hand onto your forehead. And I'm just going to be up closer here to the screen so you can see better. So imagine I'm lying on the ground. I'm letting my arms just rest against the floor, rest on the floor. And I'm going to remove any tension from my neck and just let the weight of my head fall into my hand at the back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hands. Without any effort from my head, I'm going to use my hands to push and turn, well, not push, turn my head. So my head's being turned, but there's no effort on the part of my neck to do that. So I'm going to use my hands, and when both my hands push, my head turns in one way. When they pull, I bring it back to neutral. And if I keep pulling, it rolls my head the other direction. So I push, it rolls my head in one direction. And when I pull, it rolls my head in the other.
And my job and your job while you're lying on the floor is to relax your neck muscles as much as possible. You also want to relax your shoulder muscles. So you want to avoid doing this. Let me show you. So I pull apart. That's fine. And now as I push, what I want to avoid is this, where the elbow comes up, because that means I've got tension in my shoulder. So I want the elbows to keep falling towards the floor as I push. So the elbows keep falling towards the floor as I pull apart, and the elbows keep falling towards the floor as I push them together. And my head is passive. It's like I'm unconscious, and the only way my head can move is if the arms of this stranger are moving it for me. Good. And then rest. And let's do the other side. So if I had my right hand below. Now I'm going to take my right hand above and take my other hand below. And same thing. I'm going to push, keep letting my elbows fall towards the floor, and pull apart. And push. And pull apart. And push. And pull apart. Good. And then rest. And even though I'm not resting on the floor, I can already feel tension in my neck, at the back of my neck, just dropping away and melting away. Let's do another little variation. So again, right hand underneath your head, left hand on top. This time you're going to do the opposite. So before we pushed and our head moved in one direction. Now what we're going to do is we're going to push, but we're going to move the head in the opposite direction. So we're going to move the head in the direction opposite to what the hands are moving in. And so when I pull, my head turns in the opposite direction towards the right. When my hands push, my head turns in the opposite direction towards the left. And open it up and close it up. There you go. So now I'm willfully turning my head, but I am trying to do it as relaxed as I can. Okay? And yeah, your hand's gonna rub up against the floor for a little bit, so don't get rug burn or anything. Okay, good. Relax, rest. And then switch hands. Same thing. So this is how my head wants to move when my hands push. And what I'm going to do is move my head in the other direction. There you go. And as my hands pull apart, I look in the opposite direction. And so you've switched hands, and now your head is turning in the opposite direction that your hands would turn your head if you were letting your head be passive. There you go. Nice. Good. And then relax, rest, release. So we've done it the natural way, and then we did it in the opposite pattern. Now we go back to the natural way. So again, same starting hand below, and it doesn't matter really if you get the hands mixed up or something. Don't worry about that. But we'll go back to the original. And again, push and let your head be moved by your hands. And pull, let your head be moved by your hands. Keep letting your neck be as neutral, as passive as possible. Good. And rest. And other hand. And push. So this is natural. Your head is moving in the direction that your hands are moving your head. Good. And again, you could easily be doing this on the floor or sitting up. It's usually nicer to start doing this lying down on the floor so your head can be as passive and as relaxed, and your neck muscles can be as little engaged as possible. Good. And then release. And then come up to a stand and feel what your body feels like. So you probably feel a big difference up in the upper quadrant here. You probably feel like your head is a lot more loose, it's a lot more mobile, it can move around a lot more, and it's not as constrained or as wired or connected in a stiff way to your collarbones and shoulder. You probably just feel a lot more free. You might have some differences. You might feel like your head is all, pressed back. And that's probably because during the course of your day, you might have a habit of being a little bit more forward. And what this exercise will do, it'll bring you back to neutral. And then neutral relative to your normal habit feels like that. You get these kinds of compensations. In psychology, we'd call them adaptation or calibration, but don't worry about that. Basically, you find, you swing in the opposite direction. And the reason why we did that is because it addresses the main area for the leopard, which is the throat, the collarbones, and the upper triangle of the body. So that's why we did it. The reason why you feel more relaxed is what you're doing is you're engaging the complex, web of muscles of the neck, the multiple muscles of the neck, and how they work and engage with the deltoid of the shoulder. So basically, when people tend to do something with the shoulder, they automatically grip their neck. And this is a really great exercise to remind your brain, hey, by the way, when you start using your shoulders, your neck muscles don't have to go into a spasm of tension. And so you basically uncouple the automatic tensing of the muscles between the neck and the shoulder when you do this exercise. And when your body is freer to move, it's looser, it's quicker, it's more graceful, it's more powerful, all that good stuff. So that's our alignment exercise. Let's take it into the leopard, and let's feel the difference. Let's take our after picture and feel your body. Especially feel the throat for leopard, how you speak. I like to think of it, how you speak truth, how you give true reflection, how you speak from the throat, but also how you listen. So the throat area traditionally represents an area of communication, which means both, speaking, but also listening. And then you feel the frontal lobes, which represents, of course, the analytical mind, and so your ability to reason. So basically, evaluating things, evaluating accuracy, using logic, and so on. And then the crown of the head. So this is the main channel for leopard. It's how it opens up to intuitive information. I guess the image that's coming to mind right now is when I think of the frontal lobes and intuition, I think Einstein. So Einstein would go into a sort of dreamish kind of state where you would have thought experiments, like what happens to a beam of light if it's on a train traveling at the speed of light, or if a train is going at the speed of light, what happens to time? And it was these kinds of mental experiments that Einstein would daydream about, and that was how that was part of his process of articulating the theory of relativity. But then, when it came to writing the notation, that's where the analytical mind comes in. So the white leopard, yes, it loves to be in this expansive state of intuition, of big picture, where ideas make themselves known in a dreamlike state. But it also has an incredible clarity of mind, where it can annotate all the small steps, all the small particular details that turn that dream into a manifested creation. So this is what White Leopard is about, and it's the reason why White Leopard is about creativity. So Tiger is about action. So Tiger is your desire, your intention, and your will to act. Black Panther is about your senses, your instinct, and your ability to react. And with White Leopard, it's clarity of thought, guided by the brilliance of intuition that leads to creativity. So that's the mythos of the White Leopard. It's all about creativity. So let's get into the leopard and releasing, relaxing, feeling your collarbones and breathing in, throat, forehead, crown of the head, and then as you exhale, bringing the energy down from the cosmos, down through the crown of the head and the forehead and out through the throat, back out into the world. And triangles. And triangle at the crown. And standing. So I hope that you took a after picture of what it felt like, a kinesthetic aftershot. I know for myself, I feel quite a bit lighter throughout my body. And it's a little bit easier, again, to see, to see 180, to have a large peripheral field of view. That's what the leopard is like. And I kind of feel like the skull plates in my head are like I've got an oversized crown that just keeps expanding. So that's what the leopard energy is like. You may have noticed that on the video, I don't know if you can see it, but there are little finger patterns that I have for each of the animals. So each of the animals have a mudra, a finger position. They have a bandha, a tongue position. They also have, as we talked about last time, positions with their eyes, like how they look at the world. And they also have favorite seated postures. And let's do the leopard this time. But if you want like a quick, I'd like to do something or connect with my leopard right now, something that you can do is do the leopard use the leopard mudra, the finger position. And it's really simple. So it's the middle finger, and you bring your thumb to the second joint of your middle finger. And the way that I like to think about it is this is like a satellite, a parabolic dish for a satellite. And you know how you have the microphone at the focal point of the parabolic dish, so it collects all the sound waves? Well, you're putting your microphone there in the center of the satellite dish. And you're just, beep, 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 beep. You're just collecting all the intelligence from across the atmosphere or, across the space. So you can do that. You can just like walk around, and if you want to tap into White Leopard, just have the finger position, and that'll bring your awareness to what White Leopard represents in you. The other animals have other mudras. They're a little bit more complicated. Boa is simple. So again, empathy, if you want to reaffirm your empathy, connect, relax through your breath, soften, the Boa mudra is the thumb to the index finger, the second joint of the index finger. So that's Boa, and then that's Leopard, right? So Boa, it's like like how, I don't know, how you would cup a little baby as a way of thinking about it. And your palms are soft, and it reaffirms the softness and gentleness of boa. And then with leopard, you have the focal point inside the parabolic satellite dish. Tiger and panther are a little bit more involved, so we'll cover them another time. So we'll end here for today, and I'll post up some more material that you can use to delve in deeper. And for right now, thank you so much. This is day 9 of our 30-day Unleash the Dragon Challenge. And let's bow out. The bow out, by the way, right fist, open left palm, and you bring them up above you, and you bring it down to your heart. And from your heart, you acknowledge your training brother and sisters, and then bring it back into the heart. Thank you very much, everybody. See you tomorrow, same time, same channel.